Hi, fight fans, and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. Wow, what have we just seen here? You know what? This is why we love boxing, and especially heavyweight boxing. Always seems to deliver. Tonight we saw another domestic duster. Took place over at the Copper Box Arena in East London, aka the Copper BOSH, as Johnny Fisher and his fans like to call it. Sold out arena, atmosphere absolutely jumping. British heavyweights Johnny Fisher of Romford, Essex, the Romford Bull, taking on Dave Allen of Doncaster, aka the White Rhino. 10-round fight. It was for the WBA Intercontinental fight. Now, this fight was a rematch. These two had previously fought back in December of last year out in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And that fight ended quite controversially. Johnny Fisher was declared a points winner, although a lot of people thought that Dave Allen should have got the nod that night. He dropped Johnny Fisher quite heavily in the fifth round and had a few good rounds after that. Johnny Fisher recovered quite well in the end and was adjudged a close points winner. So to the fight tonight, I mean, Dave Allen, it was interesting. He came into this fight weighing a career heavy 18 and a half stone. And a lot of people thought that would be too heavy. I certainly thought that. When I saw him at that weight, I thought that Johnny Fisher would be too mobile for him, too young, and throw too many punches. Anyway, so to the fight. So what was noticeable straight away is that Johnny Fisher was backed up from the opening bell. I've got to say, he started nervously, cautiously, trying to box behind the jab, but he gave the air of somebody that was a little bit uncomfortable in doing so, whereas Dave Allen showed his experience. He was quite relaxed. There wasn't a whole lot of punching going in the first round. I probably made that round even. In the second round, I thought Johnny Fisher looked a little bit more relaxed, still looked a bit skittish in some of his work, but he was throwing more punches and landing more punches. So I thought he won the second round. Likewise, with the third round, I thought that Johnny Fisher probably did the better work, although he wasn't utterly convincing. But I gave him the round. I mean, I thought Dave Allen was guilty of following him around the ring a little bit and not cutting the ring off. In the third round, I thought Johnny Fisher had a decent round, landed some good jabs, landed some decent uppercuts. But noticeably, Dave Allen was starting to look for a home for his pet punch, which is the overhand right. He threw a few. One in particular just missed, or it kind of grazed Johnny Fisher, but it did seem to get his attention. But again, I thought Johnny Fisher was the busier, and I gave him that round. In the fourth round, I thought Dave Allen was starting to close the gap a little bit more. Still wasn't doing enough, really. But I did think that Johnny Fisher was probably winning the round by virtue of his greater work rate, although his work wasn't altogether convincing. And what I did notice, two things I noticed in the fourth round is that one, again, Dave Allen partially landed he partially landed a big right in the fourth round, which again seemed to get Johnny Fisher's attention. And the other thing I noticed about the fourth round is at the end of the fourth round, Johnny Fisher to me looked a little bit tired. He looked like somebody that was feeling the pace. And for that, I've got to say that Dave Allen, I'm going to give him a bit of credit here, although he wasn't really cutting off the ring in the classic way. I think what he was doing was by coming forward and not showing that he was intimidated. I think that that was starting to sow some seeds of doubt in Johnny Fisher's mind. Johnny Fisher looked a bit uncomfortable. I would say he was almost as mentally tired as he was physically tired. And I did notice that when he sat down in the stall in between rounds, between the fourth and fifth. And I did think to myself at that time, this could be a long night for him, because it looked like Dave Allen was starting to warm up into things and Johnny Fisher was starting to second guess himself. So yeah, I did notice that. Now to the fifth round, which is what case of deja vu, because it was in the fifth round that Dave Allen had that success against Johnny Fisher last December out in Riyadh. Anyway, so the fifth round starts, same kind of pattern. Johnny Fisher being backed up, Dave Allen coming forward. But Dave Allen noticeably having more success in the fifth round, and he landed on an almighty big right hand. I remember I said to you that two of the previous ones missed. However, this one landed, started the damage, piled on the pressure, knocks Johnny Fisher down. He looked like quite a heavy knockdown, to be honest. Johnny Fisher, to be fair to him, showed bravery, showed courage, got up, but you know, Dave Allen was all over him. Dave Allen went to the body, went to the head, showed his experience yet again, and in the process of doing so, lands on almighty, and I say almighty left hook flush on Johnny Fisher, which face plants him basically, sends him to the floor face first, at which point the towel came in, got thrown in the ring, so the fight was effectively finished. So yeah, Dave Allen, big knockout, 5th round, knocks out, and I have to say this, exposes Johnny Fisher, I've got to say. I mean, many people thought that Dave Allen did enough to win the first fight. In the second fight, there could be no arguments. Dave Allen proved that he's the better man in there. And this was a case of levels. I think he showed his experience, he showed his levels. And I've seen Dave Allen do this before. He did it before to Nick Webb. I think Nick Webb's from the West Country, Swindon, somewhere like that. He was a prospect at that time. He ran into Dave Allen, and Dave Allen old-manned him and knocked him out. And such is the case here. So yeah, excellent performance from Dave Allen. Really, really good. Showed his levels. Wins his first professional title, apparently. So yeah, big up to Dave Allen. He was interviewed in the ring after. He showed a lot of modesty and decency, and he was quite humble. But he said he always thought that he was going to win the fight. And, you know, you've got to give him credit. You've also got to give his trainer credit. Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis had done a great job with him. He looked very composed in there, and he got the job done. He says he wants a British title fight, and who could deny him that? I mean, I'd love to see him fight for the British title. I think that would be a great story. I mean, you know, he's been around a while, Dave Allen, sometimes flattered to deceive. I'm aware that he's had issues outside the ring with gambling and 1 or 2 other things, but he seems a different man, and he seems more focused now. He's talking about a British title fight, and David Adelaide is the holder of that title at the moment. He recently had a somewhat controversial win over Jamie TKV. The board have declared that that fight should go to a rematch. So, yeah, I mean, once that's settled, I'd like to see Dave Allen in with the winner of either Jamie TKV or David Adelaide. I think that'd be a great fight. But yeah, big up to Dave Allen. Second upset of the day, you could say, actually. Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. Dave Allen, many people's underdog for tonight's fight, comes through in a absolutely resounding win. So big up to him. As for Johnny Fisher, though, I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. I think he was exposed tonight, and I say that respectfully. I'm not, you know, trying to kick a man when he was down, but I saw several things tonight that makes me think that they need to go back to the drawing board and, you know, try and put some things right. I mean, straight away, he looked very upright tonight, hung his chin out a bit too often for me, looked a bit ungainly in there. Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't a good night for him, man. Got caught. There might be issues over his chin because the way he went down. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dave Allen is a decent puncher, and, you know, these are heavyweights. So, you know, heavyweights do hit hard, especially when they land clean, especially when they're upwards of 18 stone like Dave Allen. But, you know, that was a heavy knockout tonight. And sometimes when fighters get face planted like Johnny Fisher was tonight, it's kind of difficult for them to come back at the top level. But listen, Johnny Fisher is only 26 years old. You know, obviously he's going to come back. I wish him all the best. But they may need to reassess and reapprise where he's going in his career, because based on what I'm seeing tonight, I would say at the moment anyway, Johnny Fisher is area level at best. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the fight. I mean, hopefully you guys saw the fight. It was entertaining while it lasted, and it was a great ending. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. I am out.